Welcome to the Built for Tough Player of the Week show for Week 6, honoring the very best and brightest in Texas high school football. I'm Greg Tepper. That is Ashley Pickle. It's hard to believe we are halfway through the regular season of Texas high school football. I guess time flies when you're having fun.
It absolutely does. This is always the exciting time where district play is starting to come in, and we're looking forward now towards maybe some potential playoff projections. And let me tell you, the Built for Tough Player of the Week nominees have not stopped with incredible performances, including this one. It is our 6A Built for Tough Player of the Week here in Week 6. And we head to Brock Boyd, the Southlake Carroll senior wide receiver, in a big 63-28 win over Keller High School. He had 9 catches, 112 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
The Ohio State commit was absolutely money in their win over the Indians. And it's a district win, right? I mean, the priority one for every program in the state is to win your district, and Southlake Carroll has set themselves up in that specific position because of the heroics of guys like Brock Boyd. I mean, think about this. This is Southlake Carroll's all-time leader in receptions and receiving yards. Think about all the great players they've had over the course of their time there at Southlake Carroll, all the success they've had, and Brock Boyd stands above all of them. An outstanding playmaker, and he got to catch up with our Mallory Hartley.
Brock, you hit a milestone last week. You became the all-time leader in yards and receptions for Southlake Carroll. What does that mean to you, man? That's a big milestone to hit.
Yeah, I think it's crazy to think about. But yeah, I'm just so thankful for the guys around me who put me in the position to succeed like this. There was a lot of great receivers that came before me that kind of showed me the way of how to work and how to accomplish things.
Well, let's talk about some of those former receivers. One of them, you know pretty well, like Coach mentioned. He's your brother, Brady Boyd, who's now at Utah State, killing it there. What kinds of things have you learned from him?
That everything's competition. Like Coach said, growing up a coach's kid, you don't really get handed anything. It's like a false narrative that everything's given to you. But me and Brady, we've been competing ever since we were little. So just not shying away from competition, just understanding that that's what ultimately makes you better.
What kind of a player is Ohio State getting in Brock Boyd?
I think dynamite. When you turn on the film, you look at the huddle, you look at the highlights, you see big plays. I think that's something that I bring to the table, but also a leader. With being a coach's kid, you kind of understand how things operate and how things are supposed to see. And just going in and just adding to that standard and just lifting it up and just passing it down to the future Buckeyes. I want to leave a legacy.
Okay, Coach. I'm always curious to ask this question because I feel like you see Brock in such a different light than everybody else does. To you, what makes Brock such a special player?
Well, I think the first thing that stands out with Brock is his work ethic. I mean, when you're one of your best players, one of your best practice players, it bleeds over into our locker room. And obviously, no mistake on how he plays, right, on Friday nights because of the work he does during the week. And then, I mean, just the ultimate competitor. I mean, since he's been a sophomore, I mean, he's always, the joke between me and him is he's always going to tap me on the leg after we get done talking ball on the sidelines and say, "Don't forget about me." I say, "Don't worry, brother. I can't forget about you." So, no, just ultimate competitor, but unbelievable teammate and the 2-year captain.
Speaking of that 2-year captain, you know, to me it feels like when you become a senior, you kind of take on that new leadership role, right? It might be different. You might be a captain when you're a junior, but senior year it feels a little bit different. Tell me a little bit about his leadership style and who he is in that way.
Well, I think it starts at home. He's a coach's kid. He's lived on the sidelines his entire life. He's the youngest brother of 3, so he's always kind of had to fight for himself a little bit. And his middle brother Brady was a pretty dang good receiver for us as well. So I just think the leadership has come natural to him. He's not afraid to lead from the front as well, and that really didn't just. I mean, he's a vocal guy, definitely as a senior, but he was a vocal guy as a sophomore. Wasn't afraid to step up and lead older guys around him.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate the time and good luck moving forward.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
And congratulations again, Brock Boyd, South Lake Carroll, the Week 6 Built for Tough Player of the Week in Class 6A. On to Class 5A, and from the DFW Metroplex to west, way out west to El Paso to talk about El Paso El Dorado running back Ryan Estrada, who put on the cape in the Aztecs win this week over El Paso Americas, running for 244 yards and 3 touchdowns on just 20 carries. The Sun City, it seems like, from a talent perspective, has never been brighter, and Ryan Estrada a big part of that.
You are incredibly correct in the fact that the Sun City is showing out 915 talent all over the place. This is a kid that has over 1,400 yards and 17 touchdowns on the season. The Aztecs are 5-0, 2-0 in district, and he is such a big reason why. Coach said his drive, perseverance, and commitment to excellence, as well as always helping his teammates, is what makes him so special. He caught up with Mallory Hartley.
I love to ask running backs this question, especially talented running backs like yourself. What does a typical day at practice look like for you?
The typical day at practice is definitely a grind. Being a running back, you got to work. Getting the ball, a lot of times a game, you got to be ready for it. So in Indy, Coach Martinez is my running back coach, and he works us. We work a lot. We work on everything from pass blocking to conditioning to everything pretty much. And then once we go in team, I just try to bust my tail and do everything I can do to get everybody around me better. And then scout team, when we go on scout team, I try to do the same as well.
Talk about your team leadership and what that means to you.
Yes, when I came in as a freshman, that's kind of something I was lacking a little bit. But Coach Martinez, he's done a great job of building me into a better leader, not just like by example, but vocally as well. So I've been trying to just lead at all levels. Any guy that needs help, I try to help him out and just lead, especially by example, but vocally when I can.
Ryan is undoubtedly one of the most dynamic running backs in the state of Texas.
Yes, ma'am.
But to you, what makes Ryan such a special player?
You know what? It's just, everything about him, from, his character to his work ethic, and what I mean by his character is, he's one of the first guys to, help out his teammates whenever a coach needs something, whether it be a touchdown, in the game, or, hey, clean up the field. Like, he's the first guy to offer, one of the last guys to leave the building, making sure everything's taken care of. And, that's a credit to his family. His mom has done a great job raising him and his older brother, which we were fortunate to have play for us. And he's also a coach with us right now with our middle school. So very blessed with the Estrada family. And then, like I said, he's special, on the field. You see all that hard work pay off because he's one of the hardest workers, in the weight room, in the off season. He does stuff when, no one's around, no one's looking. I mean, he's on the field by himself, after practices, on the weekends, et cetera. And, we're fortunate, and, the fans are fortunate to see that on display on game days.
Where have you seen the most growth in him as a player on the field?
It's just, every day, he surprises us with something. And, whether it be, fighting adversity, whether it be, staying on top, and that's kind of one thing that, we've seen over time is just his maturity as a player, and, just the grit that he has through the highs, the ups and downs. He always finds a way to win. And, obviously we benefit from that as a team. But I mean, whether he's having a tough game or, a great game, he always finds a way to make it better.
And good luck moving forward the rest of the season.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Ryan Estrada, our Built for Tough Player of the Week in Class 5A. We are just getting the party started here on the Built for Tough Player of the Week show, but are you feeling left out? Do you want to be a part of the show? Well, good, because we need you. Go to FordPlayerOfTheWeek.com/nominate to nominate your gridiron hero for excellence on and off the field. Remember, this is one of the most prestigious awards in all of Texas high school football. Make sure you go and nominate your favorite player for the Built for Tough Player of the Week. It's FordPlayerOfTheWeek.com/nominate. We literally cannot do it without you. We need you. FordPlayerOfTheWeek.com/nominate.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antone. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in
you back in to the Week 6 Build Ford Tough Player of the Week show. And we head now to Class 4A for our Built Ford Tough Player of the Week, and that will be out in Midland Greenwood. It is quarterback Lincoln Madrid in their big win over Liberty. He went 13 for 19, 130 yards and 3 touchdowns. Not to mention he tacked on 19 carries for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground.
It was a matchup of unbeatens between Midland Greenwood and Lubbock Liberty, and Lincoln Madrid was the big-time playmaker in this ballgame. He has the Rangers off to a 6-0 start and feeling like a contender there in Region 1. He's also a star on the track and in the classroom on the AB Student Honor Roll, an outstanding playmaker on and off the field, and he got to catch up with our Mallory Hartley.
He's Lincoln Madrid. He's our Built Ford Tough 4A Player of the Week award recipient. Lincoln, big game last week. It was homecoming. Both teams going in undefeated. You guys came out victorious. Did this win feel any different to you?
No, I mean, it's a great win for sure, right? Going against a very worthy opponent like Lubbock Liberty, right? But at the end of the day, it's the same goal every week, right? Win the next game, and like Coach O's preached, it's to win the next game and get better every week, right? So it was, it's no, I don't want to look at it as a different, have a different mindset of it, right? Because really at the end of the day, it's the next opponent, right? Our goal is to go win no matter who it is, and so I didn't look at it as a more important win than Week 1's win. So
we have you guys as the number 6 team in the 4A Division II rankings. Does that come with any sort of, added pressure?
I mean, at times, right, like Coach O's preached, we got a target on our back, right, and so that does bring some pressure to ourselves in general, right, but for myself, right, we want to be higher on that list, right, so we're working to get back to or get to where we want to be, right, and that's the number 1 team in the state of Texas, right, and so there of course is some pressure when you got a team that's coming into Greenwood, right, trying to knock you off, right, but. And at the end of the day, we're still working. We're still thriving to get better.
So, Coach, Lincoln's been your starting quarterback for the last couple of years now. It's a big job, especially, back when he was younger, right? Where have you seen the growth in his game?
Well, Lincoln's always been an incredible leader, even going back to his first start as a sophomore. But I think the biggest growth we've seen is in his vocal leadership. He commands the locker room, not just our offense, but our entire team. And credit to him, the guys following. They love playing for him. He's a leader on the field and off the field and just does a tremendous job for us.
Talk about your team's performance last week. It felt like a big win for you guys. Both going into undefeated. You knock off the undefeated team, right? Tell me a little bit about what that felt like and maybe Lincoln's role in that.
Well, I think going into the game, we talked about it being a playoff atmosphere. It was our homecoming game, 2 undefeated teams, and fortunately for us, we came out on top, but all the credit in the world goes to our players. We executed well in all 3 phases of the game, but I think Lincoln deserves a ton of credit. He brought a lot of just a calming demeanor to our offense, and then anytime you can account for 5 touchdowns, it's a tremendous night, and he makes everybody around him better. And like I said, we are the Greenwood Rangers are better with Lincoln at the helm.
Tell me a little bit about who he is off the field. Like, what kind of characteristics does he bring to the table, maybe that the stat sheet or the fans don't see on Friday nights?
Yeah, well, the stat sheet is not going to tell you that he's been a 3-year starter. He's never been late for a practice. He's never missed a practice. He's the first guy here in the morning. He's the last one to leave. And because of that work ethic, because he is kind of our bell cow, everybody respects him. Everybody follows him. He has the trust of our staff, and most importantly, the other 10 on offense believe in him. Anytime he's at the helm, we believe that we're going to go score because of Lincoln Madrid.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate the time. Congratulations and good luck the rest of the way.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you to the Texas Ford dealerships for this honor.
Congratulations again to Lincoln Madrid, the Built for Tough Player of the Week in Class 4A. On to Class 3A, and out east we go to find the outstanding quarterback at Edgewood. Trevor Golightly is our Week 6 Built for Tough Player of the Week in Class 3A. A spectacular performance in their 62-7 win over Quitman. Nearly 370 yards passing and 7 touchdowns. He's thrown for 22 touchdowns against just 2 interceptions on the year.
He has been lights out there for Edgewood, and it's funny because Coach likes to say, you see him in these highlights here just dropping dimes left and right, but no one gives him enough credit for what he can do on the ground. He's rushed for nearly 500 yards, has another rushing touchdown that he can tack on there. But you want to talk about being built for tough. He also goes out with his dad in the community and coaches Pee Wee football. So an all-around built for tough player of the week. He caught up with Mallory Hartley.
Sitting down here with our Built for Tough 3A Player of the Week. It's Trevor Golightly. Awesome last name, by the way. He did not go lightly this weekend. You almost threw a perfect game. You went 22 for 23. Absolutely insane last week. Tell me a little bit about your team's performance as a whole in this week's win and maybe your role in that as well.
This game was perfect. The line was blocking up front. The running backs were blocking, helping the line blocking. And I was getting the ball to the receivers, and they were shining. They were doing their thing.
I saw, I did a little bit of digging last night, and I saw one of your posts that you had made for your offensive linemen. It was kind of a tribute to them. You know, you talk about your skill players all the time, but maybe the guys up front don't get enough credit. Tell me why that's such a special group to you.
In practice, they're always working. They're getting yelled at by the coaches, and I'm just behind them. You know, like boosting their confidence, like making sure they're staying right. They're always tired, always asking for water, but I stay behind them. They're a good group. I've been with them since Pee Wee, and they always work for me.
What's been a highlight for you this season so far? Can you pinpoint maybe a game or a play that you've made that's been kind of the highlight for you so far?
Week 1 against Commerce, we lost them last year, and it was like a shootout, and that game was pretty fun. We came out on top. That was a fun week.
I want to get it from your perspective. To you, what stood out to you about Trevor's performance this week?
You know, he's the leader of the offense, and he did a good job of getting the ball where it needed to be. And it's an impressive performance, to be honest with you. And one of them, I'm not taking away from him, but he got a passing yard on, I don't know, it's probably a 60-yard gain on a shovel pass, which is considered a pass also. And to his credit, he came over and told Coach Seal, hey, this is going to be there. We need to run it. And when we ran it, it was successful. But, you know, and I get to see Trevor every day where a lot of people don't. And just to watch him operate the offense, and you know, we are multiple on offense. We do a lot of different things, and for him to be able to just learn everything and operate and know who his reads are and who he should get the ball to on certain situations, it's really impressive.
Obviously, you just talked about Trevor and who he is as a player on the field, but I'm also curious, who is Trevor off the field?
You know, he's the same kid. He's really competitive on the field. He wants to win. You know, he gets mad at me sometimes when I make decisions of, you know, maybe punt, or he wants to go for it because he's a competitor. But, you know, inside the classroom, he's a leader. He's a leader on the field, and he's got great grades. I mean, he's a 3.5 GPA guy, you know, so he's really got a head on his shoulders. And, you know, he comes from a family that supports him. And I think that's huge. I mean, he's very involved in other stuff, and he coaches Pee Wee football on the side with his dad. So, you know, just an investment back to our younger generations.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate the time. Congratulations and good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you.
And congratulations once again to Trevor Golightly, our Built for Tough Player of the Week in Class 3A. We're rolling on here on the Built for Tough Player of the Week show. Coming up after the break, it's the 20th anniversary of the Built for Tough Player of the Week, and let's honor an excellent player from the past who perhaps didn't even lose a game in high school, if you stay with us.
In Texas, high school football is more than a game. It's a legacy. From small towns to powerhouse programs, Friday nights showcase the best talent in the nation. At texasfootball.com/recruiting, we cover the stars of today and tomorrow with trusted rankings, in-depth analysis, weekly podcasts, and live commitment announcements, because this is where legends begin.
Welcome back to the Built for Tough Player of the Week show. You know, this program has been going on for 20 years now, which has given us a great opportunity to honor some of the best and brightest stars of Texas high school football over the course of 2 decades. And that includes taking a look back at one of the all-time greats in Texas high school football, Kyler Murray, who brought home the 2014 Built for Tough Player of the Year honor at Allen. He was a dynamo, went 42-0 as a starter there at Allen, racking up 8,384 yards and 100 total touchdowns. Then it was off to OU, where he won the 2018 Heisman Trophy, then the #1 overall pick in the 2019 NFL Draft. After leading Allen to 3 consecutive state championships, he then became a 2-time Pro Bowler there with the Arizona Cardinals. He is still the starting quarterback of those Arizona Cardinals, but he got his start as the Built for Tough Player of the Year back in 2014. We're still rolling on the Built for Tough Player of the Week show. Coming up after the break, the Class 2A and private school winner, if you stay with us.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antone. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
And we welcome you back into the Built for Tough Player of the Week show. Ashley Pickle, Greg Tepper, and it is time to crown our 2A Built for Tough Player of the Week. We head out to Tioga, and it is senior quarterback Greeley McAden. In their loss to Tom Bean, 47-38, listen to this crazy stat line he had. 292 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground. He went 17 for 28 and 245 passing yards, tacked on a passing touchdown there as well to total 5 total touchdowns. Greg Tepper.
It's been light work there for Greeley McAden there at Tioga. He's done this week in and week out. In their narrow loss to Tom Bean, he put on the cape and was absolutely spectacular. He's also a star in track and field. He gets that done in the classroom as well. He has a GPA approaching 5. I didn't even know that was possible, but it is possible that he caught up with Mallory Hartley.
Greeley McAden, he's our Built for Tough 2A Player of the Week award recipient. Man, I talked to Coach a little bit about this big transition for you this year. You came into this year thinking, man, I'm going to be wide receiver 1, and then you had to step up into a huge, massive role and play QB 1. What has that been like for you so far this season?
It's been rough, but it's been a lot easier than it could have been with the people I've had around me, just being very helpful throughout this process. Coach Birdwell, the rest of our coaches, our line has stepped up big these last couple of weeks, this whole season, and really gave me tons of protection back there and made it a lot easier on me, not have to stress about those defensive linemen coming to get me.
And I know you have hopes at playing at the next level as a wide receiver, but in a way you can look at this and say, hey, I'm learning all the parts of the offense in depth because I'm actually playing at the quarterback spot now. In what ways have you been able to kind of use this as maybe momentum into playing at the next level?
Yes, ma'am. It's been great. I've definitely gotten more opportunities to show what I can do with the ball, but it's given me a much better perspective as a quarterback, what I want my receivers to do and how they can change. And it's definitely going to help me in the long run, how I should run my route differently or sit in a different zone, or if I have a guy playing somewhere on me to swipe him by, whatever the case may be. It's just really opened my eyes being back there as the quarterback to know what the best thing to do and the most comfortable thing for the quarterback is.
How did you find out that you were going to be honored with the Built for Tough 2A Player of the Week award?
So I actually had no idea. I was very surprised. So we were sitting in we came in the athletic period. We were all there, and Coach Birdwell singled me out and called it out, and just had to clap it up. And I was really surprised, and I'm really excited. I can't believe it. It's a great honor, of course.
Did you think that you were in trouble at any point when he singled you out, or were you like, this is something good, I think?
No, man, no, not at all. I did not think that one bit. I knew it was something, but I wasn't exactly sure what.
And was it cool to celebrate this award in front of all your teammates and all your coaches?
Yes, man, it was incredible. It's a great feeling. Just, I think they're very supportive of me, and it's great to be able to celebrate that with my guys.
Well, Greeley, thank you so much for the time. Congratulations again on this honor. It's very, very well deserved, and good luck moving forward.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
One of the more interesting storylines, I think, of probably 2A. Greeley switched from wide receiver 1 to QB 1. Yeah. As his coach, obviously he's killing it right now. He won the Built Ford Tough 2A Player of the Week. As a coach standing on the sidelines watching him, what has that been like for you?
It's God, it's I don't know, it's unreal. Like you come into it with what we do offensively, and you come into it, thinking, hey, this Greeley's going to have, we're trying to aim for 1,500 yards receiving, and we got all these things schemed up for him. And then on play 7 in the first scrimmage, that all changes. And we knew it'd be a journey early on, trying to figure out, kind of what all we could do. And it took us a couple weeks, and then settling in on Greeley, officially making that change 3 weeks ago. And it truly has been unreal watching what he can do in every aspect of the game offensively these last couple of weeks.
And it's no doubt he's got that firework, that spark in him, right? But who is he off the field? What kind of characteristics does he bring to the table in that way?
Yeah, Greeley he's an unbelievable young man. He truly does, embody everything we are trying to build this program around. Every value we're trying to, build this brand around. He's an athlete that truly is he's a selfless leader, and in this day and age, to find a young athlete that puts the needs of the team ahead of their own is not a super common thing. And he's just he's going to do whatever it takes to win, and it's been really cool to watch that unfold over this last month.
Congratulations again to Greeley McAden, our Class 2A Built Ford Tough Player of the Week. Last but certainly not least, let's crown our private school Built Ford Tough Player of the Week. We go to Argyle Liberty Christian to talk about their junior wide receiver and linebacker, Cooper Witten, who is all over the place in the Warriors' 41-35 win over previously unbeaten Canyon West Plains. He caught 7 passes for 106 yards and a score. He also notched 16 total tackles and a fumble recovery. Cooper Witten, that feels like it rings a bell.
It's probably because his father is head coach Jason Witten. That's what he's known for, right? Being the head coach. No, Cooper is an exceptional athlete. I mean, he's got size, he's got the skills, he's got the speed, and more so than anything. I mean, obviously, grew up watching dad play football, and you can just tell his football IQ is so high. But his dad is most proud of the teammate, the captain, and the person he is in the hallways and in the community. He caught up with Mallory Hartley.
Man, I'm interested. You're all over the field. You play both ways. You're balling out on both ways of the field. What does a typical practice day look like for you?
Yeah, we have to push a lot in practice and lifts to get me to be able to play in shape and play 120 snaps a game. So practice is usually tough, but it makes the games a lot easier for us.
Did last week's win feel a little bit different to you guys? I mean, you're playing a ranked team in the UIL classification of 4A. Did this feel different to you?
Yeah, it did. My dad said going into it, like, this game is going to predict like how the rest of the season is going to go. And coming out with a big win like that sets us up big time for the rest of the district and playoffs going forward.
How did you find out that you were being honored with the Built Ford Tough Private School Player of the Week?
My dad told me at dinner last night, so it was pretty cool to hear that.
Man, it's funny. I haven't been able to hear that kind of a story yet. Oh, yeah, my dad actually told me that I won the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week award at dinner last night. Well, that kind of leads me into my next question is, how is it being able to play for your dad? I mean, every single game, you're seeing him on the sidelines. Every single practice, you're seeing him right there with you. You're walking in this journey together. How is that?
Yeah, it's very cool for him to be my dad and then also my football coach as well. Just being able to like talk about it all the time at home and just like the knowledge he has of the game that he can pour out on our team is really the reason why I'm winning this award today.
Coach, I've been really excited to ask you this question because this is kind of the first father-son duo I've been able to interview for this award. What's been the most rewarding part of being able to coach Cooper through these past couple years?
Well, I think more than anything else, it's been just being with him every day. You know, I mean, football has been a game that's really changed our lives, our families' lives. And, you know, a kid from a small town could dream big that maybe he could play in the pro football and, you know, have that accomplishment. And now to see him carve his own path and create his own story, I think, you know, having the chance to coach my sons in football, high school football, is the greatest joy I've ever had. And so I've had some amazing memories and maybe amazing moments through the game of football, none greater than the privilege of being their coach. And just the X's and O's is fun and all that's great, but just watching them every day, you know, develop on the football field, develop as young men, just really, really proud.
And I know you know Cooper probably better than anyone. So tell me a little bit about who he is off the field as well.
Yeah, he's a great kid. You know, I think his mom deserves a lot of credit. He's humble. He's a great example for us. You know, as a coach, you dream of your best players being your hardest workers and being the best ones in the classroom and in the community. And Cooper exemplifies that as good as anybody we have on our program. And so he's quiet, he's hardworking, he's focused, he's extremely kind. He's quick to give other people praise and defer the attention to other people. But ultimately, he's a joy to be around. You know, he makes other people around him better. And I think that's the ultimate sign of a great player, but more importantly, as a great person, is make others around you better. And he does a great job of that.
And Coach, finally, obviously you guys have high expectations this year. What kind of example do you hope this award sets for the rest of your team moving forward?
Well, I think the example I hope it sets is, listen, we all know what this award is about, and just, you know, Texas high school football is the best in the world. And, you know, there's every week, there's so many worthy recipients, and to be recognized and let our players know that they are being seen. And, you know, that was the biggest challenge. We had a lot of success in the last couple of years, and, you know, we took a bigger bite of the apple and played some really good teams, and we were close, came up short in a couple of them. We won a couple of those. And so I think for our guys to understand that people are watching you, they're seeing you, they recognize all the hard work that they put in. And so, you know, this award does not just talk about Cooper, it talks about the entire team. You know, he's got a lot of other people around him that have made this possible. And so we hope to recognize that and shine a great light on his teammates and our program.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate the time and good luck moving forward.
Thanks so much.
And congratulations to our private school Week 6 Built Ford Tough Player of the Week, Cooper Witten. All right, as we round out Week 6, it's time to look ahead, Greg Tepper, to Week 7 in our Built Ford Tough games to watch. What here piques your interest?
It's a massive week across the state, and kind of rivalry matchups. DeSoto and Duncanville, obviously a huge rivalry with tons of star power in 6A. Alamo Heights and Victoria West is a massive game in District 13 5A Division 2. Sulphur Springs and Salina is one of just two matchups of UIL unbeaten this week. Newton and Woodville. This has been a series dominated by Newton, but Woodville has got the outstanding Luke Babin to lead the way at the quarterback spot. Lindsay and Munster, it's the 58th Kraut Bowl between two German Catholic communities up in North Texas. Fascinating ball game there. And then Plano Prestonwood and the aforementioned Argyle Liberty Christian is the best game in the private school ranks. It's a huge Week 7 of the Texas high school football, and we will have you covered with the best and brightest stars of the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show next week. For our producer, Blaine Tatum, and Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. We will see you next week on the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show.